So given this quadratic in vertex form, can you find the vertex, find the axis of symmetry, tell me whether it opens up or down, does it have a max or a min, and what's that value of the max or min, what's the y-intercept, and then I probably will add also on here what's the domain and what's the range, because you will see that in future math classes. So the first step is actually pretty easy. What's the vertex? And the vertex is the opposite of this. So that'd be -2. And the same as this. So the vertex is at -2, 4. So what that means is I could go over here at -2 and I could plot my vertex. Okay? Now that also means that everything is going to be symmetrical about the vertex. So whatever happens on the left side will happen on the right. So we call this the axis of symmetry. And it's a vertical line. It goes straight up and down. And it's a line of reflection. Whatever happens on the left side will happen on the right. And what is that line? It's at x equals -2. So all you have to do is take the x value of the vertex, and that is the axis of symmetry. Now a third question is, does this open up or down? So what does it mean to open up? Open up means it looks like this. That's what open up means. Open down means it looks like this. How do you know? Well, you just look at this number. If it's negative, then you pick this one. So if this is positive, it would be this one. So -2 means it opens down. And then notice that's going to make what we call a maximum. So this would be a maximum. This one would have been a minimum. So if it opens down, it makes a maximum. What's the value of that maximum? What's the tallest this will ever get? The tallest it'll ever get is right here at 4. So I would say the max value is 4. Now from there we can start graphing. And the first thing I'm going to graph is the y-intercept because that's what they asked for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy down this equation again. And it says to find any value, you take -2 times your x plus 2 you square it, and remember, order of operations, I have to do what's in parentheses first, then square it, then multiply, and then add 4. And the first thing I'm curious about is, what about when x is 0? That would be the y-intercept. So instead of putting an x here, I'm going to see, what about when x is 0? What do I get? What do I get back? Well, 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 times -2 would be -8. And then you add that to 4. You get -4. So I just found the y-intercept is at 0, -4. What that means is 0, -4, right here is what we call the y-intercept. And because this is the line of symmetry, the axis of symmetry, if I happen 2 this way, it's going to happen 2 this way. So I don't even have to plug in -4. I know that at -4, it's also going to be -4. Now I'm going to encourage you to plug in some other numbers too, like 1. There's nothing keeping you from plugging in negative numbers, but it's easier to plug in positive numbers if you can. So what I'm going to do now is, what about when it's 1? What do I get? So what if this is 1? 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 times -2 would be -18. -18 plus 4 would be -14. So I just found that when x is 1, the y value is -14. That'd be way down here. Maybe I don't. So the value of 1 is going to be way down here, so there's no point in plugging in 2 or 3. So maybe I'll plug in -1 now. So what's the value when x equals -1? So right here, I know it's going to be here somewhere. I get -1 plus 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times -2 is -2. -2 plus 4, I'd get 2. So at -1, I get back 2. So at -1, I get back 2. So because it's symmetrical, it'll also be right here. From there, I could plot the parabola. And I know it's going to come down, go down here forever, and it's also going to go down here. Now my parabola needs some work because it looks like the maximum's right there. So I'm going to try again. Because it should reach the maximum point here and then come back down. Still not the greatest. It's not very good. I'll try one more time. So it reaches the maximum point, comes down. Now to check my work, let's go see if I get the same thing. -2, x plus 2 squared plus 4. Does mine look like that? Yes. Not exactly, but this is what we call a rough sketch. Things to really check. Is my y-intercept -4? Yes. Is my vertex -2, 4? Yes. So I would say that I'm good. Now, other things I want you to know is domain. Domain would be all real numbers. You can plug in any x value you want. The range, though, the tallest this will become. So the tallest this will ever get to is right here at 4. It'll never go higher than that. So for range, if someone were to ask you about range, you would say range is y is less than or equal to 4. So it's 4 and under. For domain, you'd say all real numbers.